Oh, Scheiße. Let's get this over with. It's gonna be movie time soon. About it for expansion reveal live. Oh yeah, there's that too today. I'm gonna watch that. When's the Warcraft reveal time? This Darren plans to reveal the next major expansion for World of Warcraft 12 p.m. EDT. Oh, so it's now.
Inhabited that journey and of that experience, and so once this classic community formed and grew, we had to listen to them.
It's this tide of listening to the community and paying attention to what is a good experience for our players now. And where we really saw a sea change in this idea is with our Season of Mastery realm, which is a Season of Fresh Start Classic.
For the Alliance!
Let's see where we're going.
For Azeroth!
I love the German.
Hi everyone, I'm John Haidt, General Manager for Warcraft, and with me today are my friends Ian Hazacostas, who is the Game Director for World of Warcraft, and Holly Longdale, who leads up the production team for WoW Classic. I really appreciate you tuning in. I know we're really excited to be able to give you updates on what's happening in World of Warcraft. But first, I want to thank our community for all the feedback you've given us this year, and especially our community council.
Cool office, like a tavern, kind of.
That we've done recently, and what you're going to see in the upcoming year.
All the statues are there. Not tavern, but like
the last 9 months or so
hallway
expansion is all about
with a lot of like the creations.
And us realizing as a team that we just collectively needed to do a better job of making sure the community felt heard, and so that led us to a change we made in 9.15.
Kind of like in Legion.
Really re-examining some of the assumptions and foundations of World of Warcraft about things like character investment and mains versus alts, or how catch-up should work, or the appropriate role of friction in our systems.
Account bound, buddy. Account bound. That's all it is.
And we really built our Eternity's End content update from the ground up around those principles.
What are some of the things that the community said that influenced your decisions for Eternity's End?
Things like the method and pacing of acquisition of the Covenant Legendary item, tons of tuning, and I think every step of the way, we were listening to make sure that we were carrying forward those lessons learned in the course of 9.15 into Eternity's End and beyond.
And yet it still sucks. It's better than 9.0, but that's how it should have been released and then upgraded from there.
About the world and the players that inhabit it. And we are in a lot of ways curators and caretakers of that journey and of that experience. And so once this classic community formed and grew, we have to listen to them.
It's this tide of listening to the community and paying attention to what is a good experience for our players now. And where we really saw a sea change in this idea is with our Season of Mastery realm, which is a Season of Fresh Start Classic. And initially we were talking about it like it was going to be like a fresh start. Let's try this experiment in a season. It'll be about a year long. And then when the community found out about it, we started seeing this upswell.
Yeah, the team just took that idea and ran with it and turned, what started out as a small community project into this Soul of Iron system that became a centerpiece of Season of Mastery.
Oh, you mean the seasons that are kind of dead because it's the same shit and takes forever to do?
5 hours. I mean, 5 hours.
Yeah, and it continues. Like Burning Crusade Classic, we wanted to balance the Paladin seals between Horde and Alliance, so we made an addition there. We wouldn't have gotten there without the community's input.
So, influence the community, you've got another update, and pretty significant controversial change for this.
Yeah, cross-faction play, coming in 9.25, which is on a public test realm now. A big
That's a good idea overall.
With a 17-year tradition.
Yeah, it was not an easily made decision by any means, and I think this is another one.
No one cares.
We try to take to heart community feedback and requests and ask ourselves as a team whether there's a way to accommodate such an earnestly held desire and still feel like we're being true to the roots of the game. I think players desire to play with their friends who might prefer a different faction, or to play with the faction that they more closely identify with, even though their raid group is elsewhere.
It's really important for me. I play a lot of alts, and I love absorbing the story for each race, and having that ability to play with all of my friends across factions is fantastic.
Don't even talk to me about the stories. Oh, like
the Alliance. It's not
what? Like I love playing alts, so I can absorb all the story. How about have one character that absorbs the whole story, and then the alts just fucking have catch-ups?
It's about pride in faction. There's a way to preserve that and even strengthen that while giving players the ability to make the same choice we've seen the greatest heroes make time and time again.
I can't wait to do this. I'm seeing a lot of my friends that I never knew had a max level character in the other faction suddenly come out of the woodwork.
And then, with these cross-faction groups, many of them are going to be diving into something new that we're doing to kind of cap off Shadowlands, a Season 4. Kind of a remix of a bit of a greatest hits, revisiting all of our raid zones across the expansion, bringing in some familiar older favorites into the Mythic Plus rotation. And we recognize this is kind of a closing chapter, a little bit of a send-off to Shadowlands. As everyone gets ready for what happens next, what will come next, want to give a fun new challenge for everyone to sink their teeth into.
Really cool stuff for Modern WoW players. I'm super excited about the gear upgrades you're going to give me and the chance to go back and play some of those awesome raids.
There's a lot to explore. Very exciting.
For our next adventure in World of Warcraft, we're going to go back to Azeroth. We're going to a space with high fantasy. I mean, our fans of Azeroth for a long time. This has been kind of the foundation of much of the lore of WoW. So without further ado, let's watch the cinematic.
Alright, let's see. 10,000 years ago. A bit more now, I guess, but yeah.
The world has been sundered. It cries out in pain. We must go to its aid. We entrust our ancestral home to you, the Watchers. Let the land slumber, hidden, even from our own eyes. You will feel our return in the waking of the land. Then, you must light the beacon of Tearhold, lest the path home be lost to us forever.
Is that Alexstrasza talking? Like it was. Uh-oh. It doesn't even feel like World of Warcraft when you look at the cinematic right now. This is a completely different game. Oh shit. The King Watcher. Dead. The last Watcher. Are his fingers gonna crack? Fulfilled his duty. Okay, she got there pretty fucking fast. Alright. Do they have emotions or some shit? These stone guys? Alright. So these are supposed to be the aspects or just big ones?
The world is healing.
Okay.
But
All the
her
dragons are
fate
back.
Is yet uncertain. Together, we shall be Azeroth's protectors once again. Here, the new age of dragons shall begin.
I already don't like it, only because you do not know who is a villain at all. The only hint we had was like that flower.
Dragons!
Dragons.
This is so cool.
No one saw it coming.
No one saw it coming. Carefully kept secret. But seriously, I mean...
I love that they're making
what
fun
did
of
we
it,
just see
but
there?
like,
The awakening of the Dragon
oh
Isles,
god.
the return of dragons, the dawn of a new age. Right, we've seen Rathian searching for his father's legacy, searching for the Dragon Isles. There's a reason why he hasn't been able to find them until now.
The beacon going off, is that summoning the dragons?
It is removing the concealment that had hidden the Dragon Isles from the world, but also beckoning the dragons back urgently in a time of need.
I assume pretty good variety of locales within the Dragon Isles?
Yes, the Dragon Isles, as kind of standard for WoW expansion, consist of five
Five
zones,
zones, yeah.
4 standard leveling zones, and a new starter zone that we'll get to in a second.
Can you talk a little bit about how the team found ways to thread the dragon aspects throughout the environments?
The Dragon Isles are a place that is lush and primal, bursting with elemental energy. As Azeroth herself reawakens, those primal forces are expressed throughout the environment, whether it's magma activity, volcanic activity, whether it's the icy wastes of the Azure Span, and each one of those has a connection to a dragonflight that we've seen before. And it's going to be an amazing place for players to arrive
It's a
at
really
and
not,
Or, you know, I'm gonna ask.
Yeah.
as far as cinematics go,
Can I be a dragon?
it's not as
Well, let's
appealing.
start
Like
getting into some
BFA
features
cinematic
here
was
and what
appealing.
Dragonflight means
Shadowbringer
to me as well
cinematic
as
was
the place.
appealing.
So first off, yeah,
This one,
we
there's,
have an
like,
all-new
I'm like
playable
nothing.
race, the Drakthir race.
Yeah.
This is a Draken, a draconic race, but dragons in
Yeah, they got
Warcraft
glide.
have the ability to take on a humanoid form.
What classes can they be?
They have unique abilities as literally a dragon. That doesn't quite fit any of our existing classes. And so what we're doing is this is not just a new race, but it's also a new class. You know, adding
Thank
a new
God.
race to World of Warcraft, and not just an allied race, is something that we don't do lightly. But telling this expansion, this story, so focused around dragons, felt like the perfect time for it. So
Or
if you are
Dragon
a
Knights?
Drakthir, you will be the Evoker class. Drakthir can
Mhm.
only be Evokers, Evokers can only be Drakthir. And the reason why only a Drakthir could be an Evoker
For the
is
next
that
two
an
expansions.
Evoker is really combining the ability to call upon the magic of the different aspects with the unique physical gifts that a Drakthir has. The ability to actually take flight and do an Onyxia-style strafing deep breath over the battlefield, land on the other side, knock everyone back with a wing buffet, and then unleash your magical abilities.
Yes, please.
The Evoker has 2 specializations. They're a hybrid of either range DPS or healer, and they wear mail armor. We figured, you know, with the new hero classes we've added over the years, we have enough melee, we don't need more of those, and also probably don't need any more leather wearers.
The raid leaders are going to love you for that.
Exactly. This is definitely a hero class, and so that means that, you know, like the Death Knights before them or Demon Hunters, they will be starting level 58, and then they're going to have a new starter zone. So they're going to have a slightly different journey into the Dragon Isles as opposed to the rest of us that are sailing there from other parts of Azeroth.
Can you talk a little bit about the customizations? Like what is going to be able to identify my Drakthir character?
Basically
Not as
anything
appealing.
and everything. You know, skin color, hair
I'm kind of
color,
underwhelmed,
jewelry,
to be honest.
tattoos, other adornments. You can make this character
That's cool.
the expression of your identity in Azeroth.
New zone, new class,
Yep.
new race. Well, tell us about some of the system updates or features.
Of course, the new expansion brings with it, you know, new systems, new features. I think in recent expansions, one of the things we've tended to do is really have these deep features that were closely tied to a specific expansion that would then get left behind as we moved on.
Yeah.
And we've heard loud and clear from players that, you know, it's kind of a bummer to start off.
Yeah,
every new
only 6
expansion
years of
by leaving
the
a
same
large part
feedback,
of your
yeah.
character behind,
Mhm.
leaving a large part of your progression behind. So this
Mhm.
time around, what we're doing is really pouring all of our energy into permanent revamps, overhauls, and improvements to World of Warcraft's core systems. Things like our progression systems, in this case, our talent system, is something that we want to completely revamp. We want
Amen.
to take a look at our UI. We want to take a look at professions.
Good.
So with the talent revamp and the arrival of Classic, did you learn anything about how our talents work?
I think seeing a new generation of players play with those talents and work through those talent trees really underscored some of the things that, frankly, we lost when we shifted to the Mists of Pandaria style talents and beyond. A big piece of that
'Cause you can't
was
balance
the
it.
granularity, the feeling of getting a level and spending a point to customize your character to make yourself a bit better in some specific way. But also, that sense of hybridity that you could have. That's something that we've largely lost. And so the new talent system avoids directly pitting player power throughput choices directly against those sort of utility hybrid choices, because we know that
that's
there's always
good.
a right outcome
That's
there.
cool.
And we also understand that there's a lot of
Good luck
strength
balancing,
in the
but that's
flexibility in
cool.
the modern talent system to let players customize their talents for a particular encounter or for dungeons versus PvP, and we don't want to lose any of that.
True.
So John, UI?
Oh my God. Yes, I got this 30-inch monitor trying to keep track of where I am on the map, all my buffs, and over here, what's going on in chat. It has literally made my eyes go like this. So
You're not alone in that. We've made a lot of incremental changes and additions over the years, but really this is a revamp. This is an overhaul. And so we're excited to really modernize the look and feel while staying true to the origins of World of Warcraft. Now, at the same time, we're not looking to take away the sort of power user customization there. Add-ons are still there if you want them, but we want a much better default out-of-the-box experience for all players, new and old alike.
and can I
That's a good
reduce elements, remove elements? If I want to explore the world and see the beauty of Azeroth.
When it comes to specific elements, as much
Okay,
as
so
possible,
that was
we wanna let
basic
players
UI.
choose what to show.
This is base UI. It's gonna look like this. Okay, you
Azeroth,
can change
When
to
it
that.
comes to
Nice.
specific elements, as much as possible, we want to let players
That's good.
choose what to show and what to hide.
So you
that
won't need
they can control it
stuff like
themselves.
You
LVUI.
mentioned professions. I have a critical question about this.
Go on.
Can I wear a chef's hat?
Yeah, I knew it.
Our approach to professions in Dragonflight is really all about delivering on fantasy and identity as a crafter. And so if you want to be a serious blacksmith, if you want to be a great leather worker, we want to deliver the ability to invest time and energy into that, become a master crafter, be able to make items that are in demand, interact with the community. One of the big pieces that we want to do to support that is a new work order system to have a bit more convenience than just spamming trade chat all day. But if you are someone, you're not yourself a blacksmith, but you have a bunch of mats and you want them forged into a great sword, you can put that work order up, list your mats, offer a commission.
That's a good idea.
And a skilled blacksmith can come along and make you the weapon of your dreams.
I think we left out one thing, though. You can be a Drakthir, go to Dragon Isles. Can
That
I
is actually a
have
cool
Dragon
thing for
What's the
professions.
fantasy
Work
of
orders are
dragons
fucking
if
great.
not
I think that's a
soaring over
really good
the
addition.
lands? And so we're really excited to introduce a feature that we're calling Dragon Riding. It's dynamic with everything from momentum to dive bombs, the ability to just sort of build that speed up and feel the world rushing past you in a way that should be much more exciting than traditional flight that we've had made available in the past, but that's also available for players through a customizable dragon mount right from the start.
So this is a skill you learn over time, right, to become an awesome dragon rider?
Yes, you'll be able to sort of upgrade aspects of your flight, but you will have this new form of flight from the start. And the Dragon Companion that you have is, of course, very
can I
thoroughly customizable, which is
change
a
to
new,
sub?
a new thing for us for mounts. This is not
Oh, then
just
the camera
a
is
generic
gonna be
dragon
off,
that
right?
everyone has, but a
I can put the
dragon
camera
that is
here.
yours. What do you want its scales to look like, horns, the shape of its head, other attachments, armor pieces,
one.
and more. Take your pick.
This is so cool.
So the Dragonflight expansion is going to see players leveling to 70, going to the all-new continent of the Dragon Isles, which consists of 5 zones, 4 standard leveling zones, and a new starter zone for our Drakthir class,
you're
as
annoying.
well as a range of systems revamps, such as a new talent system, an overhaul and update to our UI, and an entirely fresh look at professions, with more depth than ever before. Also getting around the Dragon Isles is going to come in the form of Dragon Riding, which lets you
I guess
customize
that
and
counts.
upgrade your own mount so that you can fly in a sense from the start. And of course, as
Whoa.
with any new expansion, we
Whoa,
have
whoa, 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 whoa.
Dragon Isles is going to come in the form of Dragon Riding, which lets you customize and upgrade your own mount so that you can fly in a sense from the start. And of course, as with any new expansion, we have a new set of dungeons, a raid, and much more to come.
We also have an alpha.
Very
that is
good
starting up
idea.
in
Yes,
the future.
fly
Check
from
out
the
our
start.
website for more information, and keep an eye out
Just
for
do
those
your
opt-in
research
signups
and you can
if
fly.
you want to help us test out Dragonflight and give us even more feedback to make it better.
We do have a deep dive that follows this, so please stay around. Classic players, we haven't forgotten about you. You could probably guess where we're going to go next. One of the all-time favorite expansions for World of Warcraft. Let's watch the cinematic.
Body. The remade cinematic. Forgotten. We had forgiven. They remake the Wrath cinematic completely? Wow, I'm getting goosebumps just like, fuck my life. Wrath is the shit, I won't play it though.
My son,
Oh
the day
yeah.
you were born, the very forests of Lordaeron whispered the name
The goat. Arthas.
Arthas. When my days have come to an end, you shall be king.
Obviously. What look?
It's just incredible, isn't it? Every time I see the cinematic, I get chills. No pun intended, I get chills. As you saw, Wrath of the Lich King Classic is coming this year. It brings back so many memories. When you see that cinematic, what do you remember from Wrath of the Lich King?
Anytime you want to talk
Everything
about
that has to do with
undead
ICC.
frozen dragons, how can you not go back to Sindragosa as the source? That was the first expansion I played with my youngest son. So I can remember on that platform, black goo and chunks of ice falling off and having to repeat that battle with the Lich King. But when we finally downed him, it was such an incredible moment. He jumped up out of his room and I jumped up out of my office. We're like, yeah, did it. So it's a very lasting tale for me.
So as you know, with this expansion, you will, in pre-patch, be able to play the Death Knight. They will start at level 55.
That's a weird reaction by Ian. I guess Ian doesn't have a kid.
Everyone will be able to make
Well,
one.
he's not
We're excited to
married.
give
I don't
players
see a
some
ring.
time before Wrath officially launches to get geared
So I
up
guess
and
he's
ready
not
to
married.
jump into Northrend with everybody else.
And there are so many zones.
He's
and
like, I don't
areas
know what to say
explore
when
in Northrend.
it's
And I want us to
involving
talk
kids,
about
like,
some of
I
our
don't give a shit.
favorites. So for me, Grizzly Hills has a very special place in my heart. The music was some of the best.
Grizzly
I've
Hills is probably my
experienced
favorite
in World of
being
Warcraft.
zone.
I still
This
make
horde.
my way all the way up to Storm Peaks to try and find the time lost Protodrake and have yet to get it.
I've got to say Dragonblight. The wide open nature of the zone, Wormrest Temple in the center of it, it's an unforgettable
wasn't bad.
expansion as both an
Probably my
developer
second
and player
favorite
in
as far
terms
as
of making
leveling.
that transition from one to the other.
Now let's talk about some changes. So one thing we looked at is Dungeon Finder. and
Hashtag
it
some
feels
changes.
Like how we envision Classic, Dungeon Finder is not a good fit for our community.
That was kind of the first step that may have eroded some of that social fabric. Now, as people have gone through the experience of going back to vanilla, rebuilding those groups, relying on each other, not wanting necessarily a random participant just to show up and then leave.
Yep.
Yeah, that makes total sense.
But today, you can do that in Shadowlands. You'll be able to do that in Dragonflight. It's a self-selected group of people who specifically want that different experience.
Yes.
Let's make sure that's what we continue to give them.
That leads right into arena teams in Burning Crusade Classic.
Are they
we
gonna do
listened
like
to the
a
community and we
instead
really
of like an
found this
automatic
individual
dungeon
rating
finder, you
is
get the
preferable,
party,
a better experience for them.
like the
than
party
arena
finder,
teams.
whatever.
Also, with Wrath of the Lich King, Barbershop, which allows you to customize your character. We're going to be adding a few more options that were
Good.
not existing when Wrath launched. But also there's another side of this where we are not going to charge a real money fee. It was a paid character customization fee, right?
Yeah.
it seems the right thing to do that just be available in game for gold, and we add more options to it, right?
It's sort of like spell batching in a sense. There's a lot of technical advancements, and it's not about the philosophy of what makes classic classic and what brings people together. It's just what's the better experience.
Yep.
And let's not
Amen.
artificially restrict something that we can provide a better version of just for the sake of nostalgia.
That's good.
We're happy to say this is one of those cases.
So
that's a good
Wrath,
change.
The level cap's being increased to level 80, so we'll be introducing a level 70 boost so that players who want to get in with their friends or just explore Northrend right away will be able to do that. You can't apply it to a Death Knight, but you will be able to use it otherwise. And of course, we have Inscription, a whole new profession, so we're really excited about that. Yeah, and as we continue,
Inscription
this
is a new
road to
profession?
Wrath, we're
Oh,
gonna be looking to
new for
getting a
Wrath,
lot
yeah,
more
but like
feedback
not
on
new.
beta, and we'll make changes as we need.
Was there reforging in Wrath or in
Such an
Cataclysm?
exciting time to be playing World of Warcraft. We have the return of the Wrath of the Lich King for classic fans.
Oh, that's starting the back.
Taking us somewhere new with Dragonflight. We're so excited to be able to bring these adventures to you. Don't forget, there's a deep dive on Dragonflight where you're going to get a lot more information. Thank you so much for spending this time with us, and we'll see you in Azeroth.
And we'll see you in Northrend.
And in the Dragon Isles.
Alright, deep dive for us. Weaving the story.
Hi there. Welcome to the Dragonflight Deep Dive. I'm Steve Denuser.
And I'm Taryn Gregory. Starting it off here, we're going to talk about the setting and the story of Dragonflight.
We've got this great expansion, exciting pre-render trailer that everyone just watched. So let's talk about the setting for Dragonflight, the Dragon Isles.
Dragon
He
Isles
gained
have been
weight.
known for a long time in Warcraft history as a mysterious place where the dragons came from long ago, but we never knew much more than that.
We're going to this place that is kind of the broodlands of all the Dragonflights, the place where they nested, where they built their civilization. The Dragon Isles was the center of the Dragon's kingdom when the world was young and the mortal races were just starting to form kingdoms of their own. But when the Legion invaded for that War of the Ancients, that sundering that resulted from the explosion of the Well of Eternity,
Literal sundering of the continents of Azeroth.
And because of the breaking of the world, that magic kind of drained away and the land went dormant. So they had to leave the Dragon Isles behind. And as we saw in the pre-render, they left behind some Titan Watchers to look over the land. And when someday they hoped that elemental energy would resurge once again and draw the dragons home and reestablish their kingdom.
And that's when the message goes out to the flanks and they feel it in their bones.
Now it's the time for the sky to light up with the colors of the aspects once again, and for Alex Straza and the others to come home. But the land has changed a lot in all these thousands of years they've been away. And some very
I love that it made sense why the dragons would never go back there and why they couldn't give you information as to why like you can't go there. Because like they don't know where it is.
threats have awakened as well.
We're looking into the culture of dragons as they exist in Warcraft.
Dragons as we know them today were very different in the early past, the early history of Azeroth. They were much more primitive, much more savage, what we now know as proto-dragons.
And then some of the dragons were empowered to become the aspects. The green flight, red flight, blue flight, bronze flight, black flight, each with unique powers, each with the ability to protect the world in different ways. These pillars of draconic power appointed to defend Azeroth from threats within and without.
The dragons used that power both for good, in the case of most of the aspects, but also for nefarious reasons in the case of the black dragonflight led by Neltharion, who would become Deathwing.
And what we will find in Dragonflight is that some of these ancient divisions run deep. And so it begs the question, where do we go from here? If this is an opportunity to reclaim their legacy, to be the protectors, as the cinematic mentioned, that they once were.
To do that, they're going to need the help of our heroes, our players, to come to the Dragon Isles with them and face some of these reawakening challenges, because it's not just that this land is peacefully waiting for the dragons to return and reclaim it. There's those old enemies that have awakened as well. One of those being a race of kind of elemental half-giants, the Jarradin.
The Dragon Isles isn't just populated by dragons or just by the Jarradin. There's also many other occupants here in the Dragon Isles. They've been here either just recently or for a while, including a fan favorite coming back, the Tuskar.
That's going to be awesome. We've got other cultures there
Oh,
as well.
Taliesin's going to be happy.
We'll find out about a civilization of centaurs that predates the ones that arose on Kalimdor much later,
And some of our favorite characters that we've seen over the last few expansions, such as Rathian.
and whether he's ready to step up into a leadership role, or if there are other alternatives out there that would be better suited to the job of being the aspect of the Black Dragonfly.
I think one thing the players are going to be really excited about this expansion is the new playable race, the Drakthir.
That's right.
And this is
Not
something
really.
that Neltharion, before he was Deathwing, before he went full crazy world dragon, that he put into motion.
Neltharion saw those primalists that were kind of breaking away from the aspects and what they wanted. And so, in those first experiments, he took the essence of dragons, their strength, their nobility, their wisdom, and he combined it with that scrappiness, that adaptability that the mortal races had. And he wanted to use that to create the ideal soldier in his mind, the Drakthir. Exploration is really one of the key themes of this expansion. We're going to be going to this ancient place.
Not
that the
excited
dragons left
about the
behind
new
long ago.
race.
So we've made these huge zones with all kinds of places to
And the new
delve
class.
into and find little treasures and
Only
little
because
secrets tucked away.
I was
There's gonna be a lot
hoping
of
for
fun
something
players
else,
exploring these
but yeah.
landscapes.
And there's so much architectural history and how clearly aspirational was the kingdom of
You
the
can
dragons and
easily
how
make it
they lost.
like a range DPS, a healer, and you can easily make it a tank. I don't know why you just don't make it a tank. Yeah, we have a lot of tanks, but like
so much. And the
I guess
thing
they
to try to
couldn't figure
return
out
to that,
a
to try to find
more
your
original way
legacy,
to
try
tank.
to figure out who you were before everything went awry. But there's questions, thematic questions of what does it mean to be true to your legacy? Are we going to repeat the mistakes of the past?
The dragons have had to learn those lessons just like the mortal kingdoms have had to. And I think that's one of the reasons why the dragons see this now as the time that they have to return and they have to step up once again as protectors of Azeroth. We're helping the dragons because the dragons have helped us in the past too. So by using the Explorers League and the Reliquary together, that allows us to delve into some of that history.
And when I look, upon the Dragon Isles in all of its visual splendor, I get so excited for the prospect of a truly Azerothian adventure alongside Calicos, along with Rathian, Ebonhorn.
By using the Explorers League and the Reliquary together, that allows us to delve into some of that history.
And when I look, upon the Dragon Isles in all of its visual splendor, I get so excited for the prospect of a truly Azerothian adventure alongside.
He looks very different. He looks really different. Well, I guess he's supposed to grow older. Like he was a lot younger, I guess, before. Now he's like looks older, but like his ears bigger.
Calicos, along with Rathian,
It's like he's like
Ebonhorn,
semi-night elf,
Sarah
used to be
Marithra,
human.
as each one of them is trying to find their own flight. I am taken by the exploration and the potential for adventure and just new horizons within this world.
There's going to be old stories from that time past, that history that only the dragons knew for the longest time. We're going to be able to explore that.
It really feels like just a breath of fresh air.
So now we're going to turn things over to some of our colleagues who will take you on that deep dive into the locations and the features of Dragonflight.
Waking Shores.
Hello, I'm Stephanie.
I'm Josh.
I'm Jackie.
And I'm Gary.
And we're part of the teams that are building the first two zones that you'll encounter in the Dragon Isles, the Waking Shore and the Anaran Plains. The very first zone in Dragonflight you're going to come to is the Waking Shores.
I love the
It's
50-50
wild,
representation.
untamed land.
That's good.
It's waking up around you too, and the elements are just going crazy.
Our team again has hit it out of the park.
You'll see like a lava mountain flowing in through the beach, giant proto-dragons swooping down, gobbling up members of your expedition.
We have such rife opportunities to show elementals rising up because of the crazy magic that's flying around.
The one of the things I love is just how you get to the Dragon Isles, right? So you're going to get on your boat in Stormwind or Orgrimmar, and the first thing you do is sail between like the dragon ruin architectures. The boats come right alongside each other. You can jump from one boat to the other and just start causing havoc on the other faction's boat.
For those who love PvP, this is a great opportunity for Morrowind.
It's free for all out there. It's going to be great. But it's okay. There's an innkeeper on the beach, so that if you're in that situation and you don't want to be in war mode anymore, you can just hop out right there.
The Reliquary and the Explorers League are working together.
The Horde and Alliance are sending an expedition together. It's not the military, it's not the soldiers.
that's not bad.
This is the scientists, the settlers exploring this new land. So it's a lot more optimistic tone.
One of my favorite things about the Waking Shores is the Red Dragonflight, led by
Well, there's
Queen
no
Nostroza,
reason
the
for them to
Lifebinder.
fight
They have
after
the mandate
Shadowlands,
of
but
nurturing and protecting all life, which means Horde and Alliance, Gorloks, Trolls, everybody. So they take that duty seriously. When the Horde and the Alliance come to the Waking Shores, they want to be there to help guide the people through the new land and welcome them. But they're not the only one in the Waking Shores.
We have the ancestral home of the Black Dragonflight there too, which has fallen on tough times since Deathwing's descent. And so Rathian's coming over to the Isles with us, and he's going to try and come to terms with the state of the Dragonflight, which is a few loyal Draconids and Dragon Spawn trying to hold their ground. What can the future of the Dragonflight be if it's just Rathian? Because it's not just the dragons that are coming back to the Dragon Isles, but also their longtime rival, the Jarden.
I love the Jardins so much. They're half giants that wield the power of magma, and when the Waking Shores and the Dragon Isles went to slumber, they also slumbered. They're back now, and they are ready to raise chaos.
Yeah, they're massive. They're riding giant lava mammoths, parading around, just stomping on your face.
And they were the enemies of the Dragonflight for so long. They fought against the Red Dragonflight, hunted dragons down. And they're really taking this opportunity to rise up. As the Red Dragonflight have the mandate of nurturing life, they don't want to just stomp out the Jarden completely, but they want to make sure that they don't have the power to affect those around them negatively, to make sure they don't go on a rampage and destroy the ecosystem that has been created here.
And so those are awesome things in the Waking Shore, but Steph, there really is only one right answer for the best thing in Waking Shores, right?
What?
This is true. Ducks.
We finally have those webbed feet hooligans.
They watched
in our
the
game.
WoW
We cracked
Platinum.
The technology.
They
We
can
got them
figure
in.
it out. They
Yep.
can fly.
You should be proud.
Thank you.
They watched
It's
the
gonna
WoW
be awesome.
Plat
The
video
Onaran
for
Plains
sure.
come right after the Waking Shores. It's so breathtaking at first glance.
The Onaran plains are big, wide open plains. And the player is going to be constricted a little bit, and then you see this big contrast of a zone. We don't always get that opportunity, that cinematic moment where the player can have a framed view when they see this area.
Come out and you got that postcard shot
love
of the
that.
plains. And then you see this giant fire proto-dragon breathing fire and a herd of centaur like harpoon down the proto-dragon and crash into the ground. And the first thing you get to do is go help them kill the proto-dragon. Like, how cool is that?
Who is Onara?
Onara is the wild god of the wind. And she's appeared before as like this big spirit eagle. She's the one who guided the centaur to the Dragon Isles many, many years ago. She blessed them, took their caravan across, and then showed them the plains.
Our fun at the beginning of this expansion was exploring the culture of the centaur.
The centaur are these mighty, awesome hunters that, back when they first came to the Dragon Isles, they fought the green dragons all day long. Eventually, they realized that we're strong, you're strong, maybe we should stop decimating each other's people. We'll make peace, we'll make an agreement. You guys hang out in the groves, and the centaur will hang out in the plains. But now, the dragons have been gone for 10,000 years. And the centaur have come so far since then. And they've been here, and they've been existing and developing their culture. They all came over as one clan led by the mighty Maruk and Tira, and they founded a new life here. So if you want to get across, you have to follow their rules and their traditions. You have to earn their trust. You are the first outsiders to come in generations upon generations.
Okay,
the centaur might
grind.
rule the open plains, but the green dragons make their home in the groves. And those groves are absolutely gorgeous.
And how great a job it is that we have where I can take all of this beautiful artwork and build these beautiful fantasy groves, high fantasy. We want to do lots of things with an open plain, and we want to be creative with them. But we're restraining ourselves by letting the zone sing, letting the horizon tell the story. We certainly couldn't have done that in the vanilla WoW.
No, definitely not. The zones are so big, and you can see so far, especially in Onaran Plains. So we talked to the engineers, and we actually increased that distance.
It spurs you on to want to adventure and look through the zone and explore everything.
The interesting thing for me is we have all these conflicts with the dragonflights. There's missing dragons, there's battles, there's so much crazy stuff happening, but that's not really all we're doing. There's so much extra fun activities for people to do. And the greatest thing is that you need to figure out exactly what's going on and help solve all the problems that are just sprouting up everywhere.
We're just really excited to tell a story that's grounded in Azeroth and exploration.
On the
There's
aspects,
so
like,
much more to talk about.
non-aspects
but now, we're
anymore?
going to have some folks talking about the next two zones
Because of
that
Cataclysm?
players are going to experience in the Dragon Isles.
Okay. Azure Span, Aldrasus.
Hello everyone, my name is Kate. I'm Christy. I'm Kate.
I'm Sean. We're going to talk today about Aldrasus and the Azure Span. So Azure Span is going to be the third zone that players adventure through, and it's one of our biggest zones that we've done in the Dragonflight, maybe even to date.
We knew it was going to be like the largest visual elevation change, and it really started with this great concept art. When we first were taking a look at the design, we kept coming back to one of our favorite Wrath zones, which was Grizzly Hills. And we really wanted to take that, but wowify it more. And I don't know if you've ever been up to the Bay Area, but in the morning, that coastal fog comes in and dips down into the redwoods, and that sun shines through. That's really what we wanted to encapsulate with this forest. And not only we have redwoods, we've got all different
I don't really
types
care
of
about the
trees.
art. I mean, the art is
Eventually,
cool and
it'll
all,
break
but like,
open
I don't
into
really
this
care.
wide open tundra.
I'll just look at the recap later. I mean, this is gonna take too long for no... Like, I'm not getting anything out of it at this point. I don't care about the art and stuff like that. The story kind of makes sense, kind of doesn't. Like, there's a problem with like the aspects, in my opinion. Cinematic, whatever. They made for the dramatic, like when Alexstrasza grabs the Titan Watcher before he falls and crashes. It's like, that's cool. It's like, oh, he's saved, right? It's like you get through the journey, but it's like, it's very not... It's like, that's nice. It wasn't like a wow moment or like, holy shit, Dragon Isles, oh my god. Like, I don't... It's whatever. It's like, there's no big bad, there's no like fighting scene, there's like, no one's overpowered, like, you don't know what the danger is. It's like, just the... And I get it, like, they probably want you to just think about the exploration of the zone, but let's be real. Exploration died with Classic WoW. Maybe TBC. Where you're like trying to look for the cave that no one found, right? It's like that secret dragon in Tanaris, right? It's like something like that. It's like, was Tanaris? Yeah. Well, it was nice. It was technically Anchorage, but yeah, like that, like secrets like that. I would say that kind of went away after Classic. Like no one cared about exploring anymore. So it's like trying to sell an expansion on exploration. Like I don't know, it's weak, right? It does at least make sense, like why the Shadow Islands were, like no one could get to them, even the dragons weren't going back. That at least like they covered that plot hole, which is cool. But I just don't care about like almost any. I just don't care about any of it, really. Like now that I think about it, it's like I just don't care. And I want to care, but it's like I just. There's no wow factor. There's nothing that's like, holy shit! Holy shit! There's nothing like that. Like the new class doesn't look interesting to me. I don't like ranged in WoW, nor casters, and it looks like it's both. It looks super slow. Like the Dragon Breath flight, in my opinion, should be like twice as fast. Looked so fucking slow, right? The Cold Fire where he like glides while doing it, that looked okay, I think. But like it just doesn't look in the. And I'm gonna bet those were like 3 out of 2 or 3 out of. They showed 2 or 3 abilities out of like 5 main abilities. That's like you're gonna use all the time. I'm not talking about cooldown stuff like that, but those are like your attack abilities for the most part. Meh, right? It's like, I don't care. I don't care about the race. It doesn't look bad. It looks like a cool race, but I don't care about it. The class, my opinion, doesn't look interesting. It's like it's just the problem with the class right now that I can say for sure is if those abilities do way too much damage, that does not feel good because the abilities don't look like they're supposed to do that much damage. Like, oh, a little bit of fire, poo poo poo, and it's like fucking like 100,000 crit. It's like no, it does not look like that's what it should do, and it will be doing shit like that, right? It's gonna do way too much damage, but the animation doesn't actually like. The animation does justify it, right? If anything, as it goes, if let's say it's like a channel ability that's like it does more damage as it goes, what I would want to see is as the fire goes, suddenly there's like a bit more fire and a bit more fire and a bit more fire, and that fucking damage like starts stacking up. Then it would be like, okay, that makes sense. The way the animation was, in my opinion, was not making a lot of sense for the damage that it would have to do. Otherwise, it does like no damage. Otherwise, like the class won't do any damage because I'm pretty sure everyone knows that the class is gonna be a Demon Hunter-esque, maybe 1 extra button, right? Demon Hunters have 2 buttons rotation, like kinda, and like 1 button rotation really with the spender. And what's it called? And the invokers would probably have 2 or 3 button rotation, really. I don't know. It just doesn't feel. I'm not excited for the expansion. That's like the first WoW cinematic where I'm like, that's cool. I don't care. Right? There's not even like a look at the cinematic. There's not even like a good like a screen capture like for the thumbnail, right? There's not even a good thumbnail for the Dragon Isles, in my opinion, from that. Like everyone used the Sylvanas thumbnail or the Lich King thumbnail, Bolvar thumbnail from the previous cinematics because like that was interesting. But like this, it's like who cares? I don't know. I hope that's not the actual. I hope that's like a teaser cinematic rather than the actual introduction cinematic. I'll be right back. I don't know. I am kind of disappointed, to be honest. But then again, it's a good thing because I actually didn't want to play 10.0 out of principle, so we'll see what happens. Shit. That's not good. It's a bit too hot for my hands. Alright. Washroom, and I'll be right back. But yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. The expansion, it's pretty bad. That's as far as like the impressions go. But the changes to UI, fantastic. The changes to the talent system could be fucking great, right? The introductory to get into the world, in my opinion, is not gonna work, but could be fucking great with the whole ship fight or whatever. I guess that's like how you get into there or whatever. But overall, oh shit, can I sit in your chair? Oh shit, Minfilia, I'm the boss now. That's it. Yep, there we go. I'm the boss. Alright. Have you a moment, Filmina? I believe Yida wished a word with you. I should consider it a personal favor if you would lend a sympathetic ear to her troubles. She has not been herself since Mulbrida's passing, and my heart aches to see her so downcrest. Yeah, Lise, time to get out of the gutter. To get back to your normal, energetic self. Yida. Oh. Hey, it's Filmina. Great. Oh, it's not use. I'm trying to stay positive, but it's just hard, you know? Thing is, I know Moon would tell me off if she saw me moping around like this. Which is why I decided to cheer myself up by getting her a special flower. I placed an order for a moon daisy with Rowena a little while ago and it's ready to be picked up. The trouble is, I find Rowena a bit difficult at the best of times. And, well, this isn't one of them. I know it's silly, but I just can't face it at the moment, so I was wondering, do you think you could maybe collect it for me? I have the coin to pay for the flower right here. Thank you so much. I'll be waiting for you. And the daisy at Rathfrost. It's back here. Right, it's this one. Yeah, that looks right. Yeah. Rowena. I'm saying, Rising Stones feel somewhat colder. Yeah. What I love about Moonbrita is she was here literally for like a patch, basically, and she really changed. Like if you just like read the text, she really changed like the atmosphere in the Rising Stones, which is like really fucking cool. What a character! What a character! Rest in peace. Rowena. Rowena. You called? No. Oh, what can I do for you today, adventurer? Eldritch trinket to trade. Hey, they've got you running errands now. Them Sans really know how to make the most of your talents, don't they? Sending the savior of yours into the bleeding market. Fine use of your time, that is. Seriously though, you'd best learn how to say no, or they'll have you mucking out the Chocobo stables net yo. True, Rowena. You preach, girl. Anyway, what was it you were here to pick up? The Moon Daisy, was it? Here, then, take it. And tell that Yida lass I've got a wide selection of headwear in stock if she ever decides to replace the dowdy old mask of hers. Gods know she needs to. Thank you, thank you. Alright. Wait, where are you? Okay. Alright, at the grave. Midgard. Rowena can be so annoying. She just will not take no for an answer. Every time I visit her, she insists I replace my visor with something more fashionable. When I tell her I like it just fine the way it is, she says it again, and then again, and then again. It drives me crazy. What I mean to say is, I really appreciate you doing this for me. So anyway, let's see it. There you go, the Moon Daisy. Moonbreeder love these things, you know. I hope that somewhere, somehow, she knows I'm still thinking of her. What the hell happened to this? Hello? Oh, okay, never mind. That's actually correct. Screen. Oh shit! I didn't hear what you said.
The song riseth to a crescendo.
How does she not hear him? I guess he whispers into my ear. Now we all heard the roar.
Is that what I think it is?
Is that what you think it is? It is.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, Alfie, what's up?
We have received grave tidings from Ishgard. Pray return to the Rising Stones at once.
Let's go. Grave tidings indeed. Okay. see. It's the dragon, massive dragon trial, right? Coming up. My apologies for the interruption. I was deeply saddened to learn of Moonbreeder's passing. Her loss will be sorely felt. Alas, recent developments in Ishgard leave us little time to mourn. The envoy from Korthas will soon arrive, and we must hasten to hear her report. The envoy is here. Oh, Lucia. You're the envoy? Change her. Oh no, it's like the back. Thank for seeing me at such short notice. Time is of the essence, so I would forego the usual pleasantries if I may. Certainly, you come with news of the Travanians? Aye, the dragons have begun their attack in earnest. The first wave reached the Central Highlands a short while ago, and battle was joined soon thereafter. Sir Emeric himself sallied forth with a contingent of temple knights and several companies of the noble house's finest. Though the beasts were ultimately forced into retreat, our victory, if such it may be called, came at the cost of many of our own. Too many. We will not withstand a second wave should the Dravanians renew their assault. You paint a grim picture, my lady. It is reinforcements you seek, then? We do. Though it pricks our pride, it is plain we cannot protect Ishgard with our ranks thus thinned by the Horde. Sir Imeric would meet with you to discuss the possibility of enlisting your aid. Very well, I shall depart for Korthas at once. I must warn you, however, that the involvement of the Crystal Braves is by no means assured. Our commitment to quelling the unrest in Ul'dah must take precedence. It is with such contingencies in mind that I must make another request. The Scions of the Seventh Dawn are known for sharing close ties with all three of the grand companies of Eorzea. Would you consent to plead our case to their leaders? Though I will gladly appeal to the grand companies on your behalf, I dare not promise a favorable reply. You need say no more. Considering our past dealings with the Eorzean Alliance, I can well imagine how our plea will be received. But the fate of Ishgard hangs in the balance. We must explore every avenue still open to us, no matter how unpromising. I see. Very well. I shall send envoys to each of the allied nations, and have them present your request directly to the heads of the grand companies. In the event that your plea does receive a favorable answer, know that any support is certain to be conditional. Demands will be made of Ishgard. That is on to be expected. Rest assured that I speak with Sir Imeric's authority in this matter, and that our actions are fully sanctioned by the Holy See. Which brings me to my final request, a personal appeal to you, Warrior of Light. The Lord Commander much desires to speak with you regardless of your fellow's involvement. You faced Midgardstorm and survived. Anything you can share of your experience may yield us an advantage over our foe. Thank you. You swear the mantle of hero well. You wear the mantle of hero well. It would seem the road leads us both to Camp Dragonhead. Seek me out when you arrive, Filmina. Why not just go together, bro? Okay. Cinematic time. Are these harpoons just for show, guys? Uh-oh.
The sons must answer for their father's misdeeds. Only then will the cycle be broken.
It won't be broken, though. Hatred only begets more hatred. Revenge begets more revenge. Where does it all end? No one knows. Oh.
Brothers and sisters of the heavens, we raise our voices and join you in the chorus!
Yeah.
The sinner's feeble magics are undone. Come, claim your retribution.
It's a bit evil F, Yzael. I think you're enjoying people dying a bit too much. Doesn't sound like justice at this point. Just saying. It seems I was the swifter, Filmina. You two, however, have arrived with time to spare, for our host has yet to make an appearance. The murmurings about camp tell of some manner of trouble at the gates of judgment. In the Lord Commander's absence, I suggest we visit the place and find out what is afoot. We need not fret overmuch. There are yet several layers of arcane protection that shield the city from invasion. Mother will be fine. Mother? Oh. Heretics scum, how dare they meddle with our divine protections. I shall rid our nation of their blasphemy, even if it means cutting them down one by one. When I laid eyes upon Lady Isart, I felt the marrow freeze within my bones. Well, she is kinda cold. The gates of judgment are much more than mere doors. They are the outermost layer of Ishgard's magical wards. If our first line of defense can be so easily shattered. 3 dots. It seemed the heretic struck the first, and most telling, blow against Ishgard. Scions, we expect you at Camp Dragonhead. My apologies, we chanced to hear that there had been trouble at the gates and thought it prudent to investigate the cause. Then you have learned of the heretic's treachery. Lady Isart led a force of her followers against our defenders and came close enough to dispel the first of our wards. But let us speak more of this back at the camp. Sir Aymeric awaits you. Lady Isart has grown bold indeed. If she would risk direct action against the city, come, let us do as we were bid and return to Camp Dragonhead. Lord Haurchefant will know where Sir Aymeric means to receive us. It is reassuring indeed to behold the countenance of a friend when one's homeland teeters upon the very brink of disaster. Though a single misstep could send us plunging into the abyss, your heroic presence stokes the flames of courage within my heart. But you did not come to Dragonhead to listen to my prattling. The Lord Commander has arrived and would treat with you in the intercessory. Let me in! Let me in! Let me in! Alright, Aymeric, let's talk. You seem to be very comfortable over there. No rush, no urgency. I thank you for coming with such haste, and apologies for my absence. Suffice it to say, Lady Isart and her heretics have much to answer for. Yes, We are but recently returned from the gates of judgment ourselves. Given the circumstances, we quite understand if you would prefer to postpone our appointed audience. On the contrary, Master Alphino, I think it more important than ever that this meeting take place. Rest assured, I shall return to my post on Ishgard's walls the moment our business is concluded. Before we move on to the subject of reinforcements, however, I would introduce you to a close friend and stalwart ally, Estinian. Yeah, buddy, what's happening? The Dragon Hunter. Bing. That mask does you no justice, my friend. May I present to you Ishgard's Azure Dragoon. An impressive title, though I confess I know precious little of the Order of Dragoons. They are formidable warriors all, yet even among such masters of the lance, Estinian is without equal. He, out of all the warriors of Ishgard, was chosen to wield the power of dragons, and may thus contend with any Dravanian. You flatter me overmuch, Lord Commander. So, you are the adventurer of whom they spoke. I see now why my blood fair sang in anticipation of our meeting. Well, now that we have all been introduced, let us proceed to the matter at hand. I would share with you what we have learned of Iceheart's design, as confessed by the heretics taken captive after the assault on the gates. It would seem that Lady Iceheart and the Dravanians will share a common goal, and reclamation of Nidhogg's stolen eye. Nidhogg, one of the 7 great worms. His name features prominently in your nation's history. Though once defeated by the hero Haldrath, the beast is said to have terrorized Korthas since Ishgard's foundation. Aye, many are the scars our walls bear from Nidhogg's relentless efforts to raise the city. The trophy Haldrath plucked from the bested worm's skull, known simply as the Eye, is a treasured relic of Ishgard and one possessed of untold power. Should it ever be returned to Nidhogg, the dread creature would be restored to the height of his strength, and then no wall or ward we could erect would be stout enough to deny him. The stare. My vengeful son hath waged war against Ishgard for 1,000 years. No mortal mind can comprehend the depths of his rancor. The eye itself is secreted deep within the vault. It is kept under heavy guard, surrounded at all times by men and women who have proven their loyalty to the Holy See. But though stout walls and sharp blades may suffice to discourage the heretics, the dragons are another matter. There are individuals within the Dravanian horde whom an entire company of knights would labor to repel, to say nothing of Nidhogg himself. Nor does age rob them of their strength. Through the endless march of years, the dragons endure, patient, calculating, inexorable. You must understand, these creatures do not share our perception of time. And that is especially true of the great worms. They who spend centuries in slumber, only to wake and resume their campaign, as if mere hours had passed. It has been 20 years since Nidhogg last darkened our skies, 20 years for him to gather his strength, and for us to bolster our defenses. And now, just as he seems primed to return, the heretics strike at the gates. You believe that Lady Iceheart is in league with the creature, then? Of that we cannot be certain. Though we know the heretics covet the eye, we have been unable to determine their plans for it. Such question aside, we must needs address the ragged hole their mistress has seen fit to rend in Ishgard's protections. It is a weakness the Dravanians are not like to leave untested. So it would seem. You have described your plight in admirable detail, Lord Commander, yet I cannot help but wonder at your candor. Why share such sensitive information with us? I shall speak plain. Ishgard has need of allies, and I would have you bolster our front lines in readiness for the coming battle against the dragons. This much I expected. Unlike our arrangement concerning the Keeper of the Lake, however, only you stand to benefit from our assistance in this matter. I fail to see why we should intervene in a conflict which concerns only Ishgard and Dravania. When the Eorzean Alliance requested Ishgard's assistance during Operation Archon, you refused us. Does it not seem grossly unjust to demand that we now risk our lives in your private war? Make no attempt to defend my conscious conduct. I only ask that you consider what would follow were Ishgard to fall. Having razed our city to the ground, the Horde would have little cause to linger, and most would return to their lairs in Dravania. Soon thereafter, the ruins of Korthas would be buried in snow, and the land would become the sole province of beasts and beastmen. Until the Garlean's arrival, that is, for you may be certain that the Empire would not hesitate to claim Korthas. They would not even have to draw steel. An imperial province sharing a border with Mordona. 7 hells. Very well. We will assist you in repelling the dragons. The roar of a great worm may have shaken the firmament, but we of Eorzea will not abandon our guardian brothers to face the coming horde alone. Nor did I ever think you would. Now, upon the matter of the roar, allow me, Sir Emeric. Through the power of the Eye, I have become the vessel of Nidhogg's strength. His essence has stolen into my very blood. Fear not, I am in full control of my faculties, I assure you, and the Eye itself is of no relevance to this tale. It is not essential that I bear it with me wheresoever I go. Its lingering influence does, however, allow me to hear Nidhogg's voice. Then the worm who roared was Nidhogg. Aye, he means to hurl his horde against Dunifen's collar and shatter the remaining wards that protect the city. There can be no doubt the worm has summoned his minions to war. Da 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 da. Though the circumstances are far from ideal, this desperate endeavor will at least provide us an opportunity to bring the sister states of Eorzea together in common cause. Sir Emeric was more ruthless in his negotiations than I had anticipated. I suppose one must give no quarter when one's home is at stake. But did you see the look on his face when he formally requested our assistance? Although the Lord Commander has long campaigned for Ishgard to open its gates to outsiders, I suspect this softening of the Holy See's attitude towards foreign cooperation comes as something of a bittersweet victory. The days ahead promise to be interesting indeed. Athena is ready to begin making preparations for war. If we are to aid the Ishgardians in this war of theirs, preparations will have to be made, and soon. Before proceeding, however, we must needs return to the Rising Stones and make our report to the antecedent. Are you seriously doing that right now? Should just use the fucking button instead of looking through the map. I'll lower this just a tiny bit. Being annoying. Yeah, whatever. Alright, Miniphilia. There's the team. Or just Alfie.
Alfino, it is good to see you. Tell me, what have you learned?
Pray summon the others. Everyone must hear my report.
So this was all but a taste of what's to come.
Indeed. The main host advances upon Ishgard as we speak.
Whose vaunted defenses have been nullified.
Shorn of its wards, the city will bear the full force of Nidhogg's fury.
All those people.
Alphino is right. The Dravanians cannot be allowed to prevail. If Ishgard falls, all of Eorzea will suffer the consequences.
Then you agree that we have no choice but to intervene. For the good of the realm, the Scions of the Seventh Dawn and the Crystal Braves must join the defense of Ishgard.
Let there be no ambiguity about what has been proposed. We would be directly intervening in the war. But if all here believe the cause to be just, then to war we shall go. The path we now embark upon is perilous, but I pray you will walk with us to the end.
I'm on it, girl.
For those we have lost, for those we can yet save.
Oh, that's where the sentence came first.
Then it is settled. I shall inform the Council of our intentions and request that they contribute their own forces to the defense of Ishgard.
We all know something we don't know. So I would have you assist with the preparations being made for defense. Volunteer dragons there. Let's see. Did they go through the thing? Why is Asmongold amazed by that? Oh shit! No. It's annoying. Talent trees and UI update. Yeah, saw that talk. I didn't see this talk yet. Oh, and I didn't see that. Evoker and Dragon riding preview. Is this? Okay, this is the one I quit on. That's the zones. Okay. See the Evoker?
Hi, I'm Jake.
I'm Andy.
I'm Kali.
And I'm Graham. And I'm really excited to talk to you guys today about the Dracthyr Evoker, our new race and class coming in Dragonflight. We're here to talk about not only the Evoker, but also dragon riding, which is our exciting expression into the exploration of the Dragon Isles. We knew
Yeah, look at this guy. Look at this guy, the second guy. Like the first guy from the left. What a Chad. This guy, good looking, well dressed, well groomed, nice mustache. like fashion-wise, great. Goes to the gym.
To let you play a dragon. Not a big dragon, Alex Ross's size. That'd be tough to fit into raids. I'm sorry, Jake. Okay. I know. But a draconic humanoid. So the Drakfear, created by Neltharion.
And like our other hero classes, you get to choose if you want to start on the Horde or Alliance side on character creation.
So let's talk a little bit about the Evoker, the class they can be. What's unique about it is because the Drakfear are created by an aspect, they have the ability to wield the magic of all 5 dragonflights. So Evokers can take advantage of red magic and blue magic and bronze magic.
And to show that, we created a visual, what we call a prismatic effect. This prismatic effect is basically the coalescence of all their energy as they channel it into whatever spell that they're going to cast.
Okay.
You have a red magic spell called Pyre. So when you shoot it out of your mouth, it twirls in the air with all 5 of the dragonflight's magic as it turns into the red spell before landing on your enemies and exploding and hopefully burning them.
I'll take that one. Getting that 5 across, that they use all 5, was really important to us, but we did want to make sure that each specialization focused on 2, because casting 5 different colors gets a bit messy. So their damage dealer specialization, their first of 2, Devastation, mostly focuses on red and blue magic. Red being very fast and explosive, burning everything with Pyre, whereas blue is more focused and overwhelming. You can shoot a beam of energy out of your mouth to disintegrate one single enemy in front of you.
There's a healer spec called Preservation. The healer spec is going to focus mostly on your green and your bronze magic. So your green is going to be evocative of the Emerald Dream, your growth and your nurturing spells, and then you have your bronze magic, which is going to be more timey-wimey. So you get to heal a wound faster.
So in addition to the visuals and the animation, which all make you feel very powerful, we really wanted the player to have a physical connection to the cast. We have a new type of spell called Empower, where when you actually hold down the button on your keyboard, it charges up the spell. The longer you charge it up, it might do more damage or hit more targets depending on the spell, but it gives you this really physical connection and control. And it's new for World of Warcraft, and I think it's feeling really, really good.
We have some great animations. Thank you,
That's
Andy.
cool. Love it, Andy.
You feel physical when you're casting your spells.
You can actually fly around the battlefield and cast while you're flying.
Raining fire and death from above. It's great.
In addition to the gameplay, though, another part of feeling draconic is looking like a dragon.
Well, we talk about dragons breathing fire, but you know what's actually fire?
What's actually
These
fire?
customizations.
Oh my goodness.
But no, they're really, really
They're
cool.
awesome.
Because you have both your draconic form and your humanoid form. And the customization options for both of them are amazing.
They're very good.
What about color? Just tell me
tell us about the color. You can do a lot of matching. So your visage form can have scales that are the same color as your Drakfear form.
But my favorite, super favorite part of customization for the visage form, hair.
Yeah.
Because I can actually do this in game.
Yeah, the tech is here. We finally did it. As players make their way through each of the areas of the Dragon Isles, they'll partner up with the Dragonflights to move through the air as they've never done before. You'll notice I did not say flying, because flight has a very specific meaning for World of Warcraft.
Yeah,
and we're talking about something new called dragon riding.
And as the players are honing their dragon riding skills, you're going to get to see all new animations that go along with the different look and feel of the drakes.
We're aiming to shake up movement with this new system, providing players with a deeper immersion with forces like momentum and gravity.
We knew that for Dragonflight, we were going to have the opportunity to show players a whole new set of Dragon Isle drakes, completely unique from all the other things they've seen in World of Warcraft. And so we wanted to come up with a movement system that would add that sense of
Guild Wars,
physics, weight,
so
and
it's
gravity
Guild
that you
Wars
mentioned.
flying.
We knew it was going to take a huge
Guild Wars
team effort,
mounted.
not just animation, but it was going to take effects. It was going to take the engineering team, who we rely on heavily, and that combined with some new animations really helps to lend that feeling of physics as you move through the air in ways that you haven't before. And the icing on the cake is going to be some really cool effects that we've added on top of all of that. So for example, when you start hitting maximum velocity, you're going to see contrails coming off the edges of the wings. And then as you do your rolls and spirals, you build up more and more speed. There's going to be some screen effects on the display to indicate that you're reaching maximum velocity, which really adds to the overall kind of immersion and sense of reality.
As players make their way through the Dragon Isles, they'll discover new cosmetic options to fine-tune their Dragon Isle Drake's appearances. Things like snoots, horns, tails, elusive Dragon Isle Drake armor, and more. Cool. Can I have spikes? Definitely. Okay, we want to provide players with all new skills to play with, as those who can use their momentum well can reach higher and higher heights, and bring on new, more difficult challenges.
We just have so many new, gorgeous options to choose from, and I'm just so excited for all of them.
I'm excited for the whole thing. I mean, it's been a lot of fun to work on, but I can't wait to actually get in the game, play it with you guys.
I can't wait. I can't wait to fly around Dragon Isles. It's going to be great.
Next up, you're going to hear about the talent revamp and the UI changes coming in Dragonflight.
Okay.
Gentlemen,
no.
it's been a long time.
Not what I wanted. Yes, there was this one. The talent tree, professional revamp, I don't really care. The work order system is cool, but alright, deep dive.
Hello, my name is Brian.
I'm Crash.
I'm Jay.
And I'm Laura. We are very excited to share you're finally revamping the WoW HUD UI.
And it is also time for a major revamp to talents and specializations.
I have a big question for the group. How long do you think it took for us to finally revamp the WoW HUD?
My guess is like 15 years.
Close, 18 years.
18 years.
Wow. You know, technology has changed a lot since we made the UI back in 2004. Now you have like bigger monitors, and we have better dev tools to work with, so it makes sense to have the revamp right now. Also, if you look at the game today, the art evolved beautifully over the years, and if you look at the HUD looks like it got frozen time.
So when we approached this, we wanted to create a layout experience that players could customize, move things around, adjust it to fit their needs.
Add-ons today, they do a lot for player customization.
The downside is that not everybody uses them. It's about time that everybody has the opportunity to use them, that they become a part of the base UI.
Yeah, and we are working very closely with our user research team to make sure we are hitting the goals that our player needs.
It allowed us to add new functionality, to improve accessibility in a lot of areas, and on top of that, we are going to be improving the art.
Yeah, so the art update is a big part of this project. The UI that we have today has a lot of charm and personality, and players have been using that for 18 years. So With that in mind, we want to respect the players. We really like the current UI, but do more than take to it. Removing the clutter and giving more visibility for your gameplay. So the new minimap, it looks bigger, and the health bar is also much bigger. If you look at the action bars in the bottom menus, they have less head frames, and you can really open up your gameplay, so you don't have a lot of your UI in front of you. And of course, we want to find iconic pieces from the current HUD, but we want to bring it back in a nice way. So we for sure updating the Griffins. They look so nice now. And the Horde, don't worry, we got you. We're going to have your version as well. So let's talk about the edit mode.
We are putting a mode in that will let players move various HUD elements around on the screen. So I'm able to move the mini-map, say, from the right corner all the way over to the left corner. If I want to bring my action bars from the bottom and kind of put them more in the center by my character, those are all things that I'll be able to do. Absolutely. And each of those different components will have various sets of options that you'll be able to work with. They'll be able to save it, edit it, copy it, name it. Also, it'll remember which spec you're in. So if you're someone who jumps around a lot, as you switch, it will switch to whatever.
They basically made LVUI as
This is
basic
an ongoing
UI.
project. We're
That's
going to
good.
keep working on it. So we really want to hear back from you.
A project that we're all excited about that we've been collaborating a lot on is something that's pretty UI intensive, and that's the talent system.
It hadn't changed in a long time, like you said before, and we really started with how can we have players have more choice over what their character has?
As you level up, we give you a new spell or a new ability, something that kind of makes you stronger, but it's determined by the designers. We decide the order.
Yeah, we started looking for a system that would give players a much wider set of options.
And after looking at all those things, what we really returned back to was the idea of trees. But it's actually two trees. We have a class tree that offer different class utility, and then we have a spec tree that is focused on performing your role, whether that's damage, tank, or healing. Can I just jump in and say that I personally am super excited about having trees come back? There's a big nostalgia hit for me. As we said, we have these two trees because we feel like picking a specialization is a really important part of your World of Warcraft character now, and so we want to make sure that when you choose that, it kind of affects the tree in some way.
Yeah, as soon as you open your talent tree, you'll see something new. The class side will have some abilities filled out for free, just kind of starting you off in that spec you've chosen, but then you'll have your first point to spend in the class tree, which could be something related to that spec or role, or it could be something from elsewhere in the class.
There's a lot of things that we can do here, and part of that is encouraging players to perhaps make combinations that they've never really been able to see in the game before. This is an opportunity
Bring
to
back
put a lot more
Shaka,
art
Dinyo.
and fantasy in the actual talent UI itself.
This is the only thing I'm actually like looking forward to.
But not the base UI.
We want you to be able to tinker with it. You know, we want you to be able to make
It's
a
the
lot
only
of changes
thing
at a
I'm
lot of times,
looking
and not
forward to in this
necessarily
expansion
have to
right
commit.
now is
the power really is
the
coming back to
talent
the
tree.
player. It's not something we want people to feel locked into, and so one of the things that we'll be preserving is the ability to change these talents at the same kind of frequency that you do now.
Yeah, the old school players, when you see trees this time, just think, yeah, I'll go from my raid night to my arena match and figure out what I think is the best for both of those.
And that's a process we want to make really fluid. So we're building a save load feature that lets you create your build, name it, save it, and then load it up very quickly and freely.
Talents were really about the breadth of options. We've made all these different cool things over the years, but when are they at their coolest? It's when players can hold the building blocks of what can make up their class, their spec, and put them together in a way that works for them.
So these are really cool features that we've been working long and hard on, and we're very excited about them. And it's just an early preview of the things we've been doing. We can't wait to see the reaction that you have to them, and please reach out to us and let us know your thoughts on them. And next up, we're going to talk about professions in Dragonflight.
I don't care about that, but I want to see.
Be a Drakthir, go to Dragon Isles. Can I have a dragon?
What's the fantasy of dragons, if not soaring over?
No,
the
no,
lands?
not that.
And so,
I don't want that. Where's the? I want to see what his thoughts are
so first off,
about
yes,
the expansion, the cinematic. Yeah, that's cinematic, right?
Okay. Holy shit. There it is.
Yet unsettled. Here,
Yes.
of dragons shall begin.
There it is. There it is. There it fucking is, dude. Holy shit. Never, not bad. That
Trash.
was fucking badass. Fucking is, dude.
No baddie, yeah. Flying Exotic boys. Cringe, let's go. No baddie.
Holy
Dragonflight, big trash. Real and true. Dragonflight, kinda meh video. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Dragon these nuts.
That was
meh.
fucking badass.
Leaks are true. Dog, what even was that? I'm not hyped at all. Ah, you're not bad, Blizz. There it is, dude.
Straight up. 100% fucking badass.
ZZZ. Thanks, Microsoft. Not yet. Yeah, I'm like not impressed by this at all. I know those guys like probably like they're also trying to be cringe, but it's like at the same time it's like I'm actually like really not impressed by the cinematic. Alright, play brief Slavborn of this brewing conflict and discuss potential contingencies. The frontier settlers We must be prepared for aught that might wing its way over our halls. I only hope that such precautions prove unnecessary. Before you leave, might I suggest that you have Tataru accompany you? She has a talent for administration and a firm grasp of the practical challenges we may encounter. Yo, I'll be right back. I don't know why, but I'm really craving some fucking peanuts. It's a crazy weird... Oh my god, it's snowing again. God damn, man. Yo, give me them peanuts, yo. Want me them peanuts? There it is. Alright, got me some peanuts. Peanuts. Let's see. Anything else? Not really. No. Yeah, just a peanut craving. Woo! God damn. Well, it's wet snow, so it's not bad. Oh yeah. Peanuts, baby. Look at this. So good. We are rather close to Cortez, aren't we? We'd best see to our own defenses and take stock of our supplies. Oh, and we'll also need to have beds and bandages laid out just in case. A good receptionist is ready for any eventuality. Let's go, Lumina. I have 101 things to discuss, and a bitch ain't one, with Slapborn. I appreciate the warning. If orders coming to Cortez, then the toll must be made ready. I'll increase the number of patrols and lookouts immediately. I'll also see about finding room for an infirmary, as well as temporary housing for victims of the conflict. Ishgard has done well by us in the past, and I would return the favor. As for rounding up volunteers for the fighting itself, I'm afraid I must disappoint you. I will not send my fellow guild members to die on Ishgardian soil, and I am certain headquarters will say the same. There will be no official Adventurers Guild presence at this siege. That said, each adventurer is of course free to do as he or she will. I shall have a word with some of my more capable colleagues on your behalf, and you might try your luck here in Revenant's Hall. I dare say there are a few stout souls about town who will answer your call to arms. Let's get started, shall we? We have a town to rouse. Yeah. Interesting. Spare me your talk of glory and fame. I'm not in the habit of volunteering for lost causes. I survived this long by trusting my instincts, and my instincts tell me to stay well away from Ishgard. Pussy! What a pussy. Oh, real. Yo, what's up? Ishgard sounds like she's in the right mess, but it ain't what I want to talk to you about. I need you to cast your mind back to that scuffle with the Empire, out by the processing plant. A lad from little amigo by the name of Wilred was there with the fourth that day, and I want to know if you've seen him since. Have you? A lad from little amigo by the name of Wilred, I know him, was there with the fourth that day, and I want to know if you've seen him since. Have you? I have seen him. Yeah, I've seen him in Ul'dah. But I haven't seen him since Ul'dah. That's damn, it fears much. No one's bloody seen him. It's like the ground opened up and swallowed him whole. But that ain't all. Around the time Wilred stopped turning up for duty, them black market weapons went missing from our vault in Ul'dah. So now, of course, half the Braves suspect the lad of making off with the goods. Orc like to believe our company's a disciplined fighting force, but as you and me both know, it's no more a motley collection of mercenaries, adventurers, and Grand Company veterans. The only thing that binds us together is some vague oath about fighting for the freedom of all. That and the steady pay. Now, compared to most others in this crew, Wilred's a fresh-faced novice, a bleeding whelp amongst wolves. But the boy's got passion. When he talked about being guardian of Eorzea, he bloody well meant it. A lad like him wouldn't rob us blind and bugger off like that. He ain't the type. And then, and this is just between you and me, mind, there's the fact that the lad wanted to tell me about something queer he'd noticed in the ledgers. Something about the Braves' numbers not adding up. Aye, there's a villain at the end of this trail I've stumbled on, and I'll bet me good eye it ain't young Wilred. Any road, you've got a war to wage, so I'll let you get on. I just thought someone should know. I'll be seeing you, Filmina. Real, you're a true one. So Ishgard Zig sells swords to Balsori Tranks, eh? Though I'm not sure I like the sound of this siege. Those will surely be generous with their rewards. But I have pledged myself to guard Revenant's stall. Modest work though it is, I am loath to break the terms of my contract. What to do, what to do. Oh, there you are. Sell me blade to these guardians. Well, them dragons are a fearsome lot, but I'd slay me fair share if the coin was good. I've worked for one of them nights before, you know. Watched me like a bloody hawk, he did. Still, I'd put up with worse than that for a heavy purse. Volunteer my services in the defense of Ishgard? I think not. Dragons claimed the lives of every one of my brothers. I do not mean to offer them mine. It was to escape such a fate that I took up the mantle of adventurer in the first place. I would sooner die in the pursuit of fortune than huddled behind an icy wall. Fair enough. But don't you want revenge? Taru? There you are, Flamina. So, did you sway any hearts? One or two? One or two? My bad. One or two, eh? Well, add to mine that makes 3 or 4. That includes Loveborn's friends. You won't have the largest company in the army, but I'd say one Revenant stall veteran is worth a dozen clanking knights at least. Tatara has a message for you from Alfino. Oh, I've been so caught up with the recruiting that I almost forgot. There's been word from Alfino. Apparently the Alliance leaders are convening in Ul'dah to discuss Ishgard's plight, and they have requested your presence as usual. Anyway, you'd best make your way to Ul'dah, or you'll be late. Alfino said that he would meet you on the Royal Promenade. Excuse me? Wanna fight? Fuck you up, bitch. You'll watch your tongue whilst in the... Bro, I'll fuck both of you up. I don't give a fuck. Let's go to the pit. Come on. Let's go to the gladiator pit. Fucking assholes. What do you want to say? Nothing? Okay. How about you? Yeah, you better shut up. Assholes. Answer is already in attendance, madam. I don't think the grim mood within will be lighted by further delays. I apologize for calling you away from your tasks. I'd hope to proceed with these negotiations one leader at a time, but it seems my urgent request for an audience have prompted the gathering of the council. Needless to say, I felt obliged to attend. The alliance leaders are already seated within. Let us join them, shall we? And that's the case.
We are well aware of Ishgard's dilemma, and we agree with your assessment.
Then I trust there are no objections to the Crystal Braves' intervention.
Ul'dah has none.
Gridania does not object.
The Crystal Braves are yours to command, Alfino. Do what you will. We shall pray for your success.
It was my hope that you would offer more substantial aid than prayer. I know it is within your means.
Do not presume that you have knowledge of our every concern. The Garleans and the Beast Tribes are but two of many.
Oh yeah. What else? What else do you have?
We are not in a position to contribute greatly to the defense of Ishgard. Not when our own homes are still under siege.
We dare not leave our interests in Cartano undefended as well. Teleji Adeleji and his ilk would seize control of the territories in our absence.
Fair enough.
The enemy is at their gates, and you would cower behind yours?
No one is cowering, boy. We will offer what support we can.
Aye, support. A handful of men and no more.
Would that we could commit more than a token force to this cause. Yet there are others to whom you might turn. The free companies ever want for work.
True.
Ah, yes. The free companies. They're not like to turn you down.
The guilds. The players.
I beg your pardon? You would entrust the survival of Ishgard to sell swords?
I mean, I'm a sellsword.
Crises like these are the very reason why this alliance was formed. It is our duty to aid our fellow man.
My duty is to my country and my people.
True.
If you expect us to place the welfare of a foreign power above our own, you're going to be sorely disappointed.
True.
Lest you doubt, Limsa comes first, then the Alliance, and finally, circumstances permitting, Ishgard and the rest.
Yep.
If you cannot understand so simple a concept, then you have no place at this table.
You tell him, Merlwip.
Forgive me, Admiral. I was careless in my choice of words.
Yeah, you spoiled brat. Shut the fuck up.
I suggest you assemble a party of elite adventurers, assuming you haven't already. Your fellows served us well during Operation Archon. I dare say they will do so again.
Yep. The duty finder, let's go.
If I may, Your Grace, I wish to propose a redistribution of forces. If we entrust the security of Uldar to the Brass Blades for a time, we can dispatch a larger force to Ishgard. Your Grace?
Yes. Yes, of course. Do what you will.
Another mistake, Roban. I lost a peanut.
Is Her Grace not feeling well?
To the best of my knowledge, Her Grace is in perfect health.
I see. Carry on.
Traitor. Once again, I owe an apology. It seems to have been conscripted into leading a contingent of adventurers into another mission of inestimable danger. But I'm afraid we have been left with little alternative. We cannot well abandon Lord Harshaphant and Sir Imeric to their fate. Must abide by the Council's decision, as short-sighted as it is, and strive to fulfill our roles as the Eorzea's guardians. Captain Ilberd, what news? Then the assault is begun. We have but this moment concluded our audience with the Alliance leaders. Move our forces in position. Your unit will join House Durandare at the Still Vigil. Man the cannons alongside the knights, and thin the Dravanian horde ere they descend upon Ishgard. I will join you as soon as I am able. No. We'll have you and your adventurer allies bolster the defenses at the Steps of Faith. Port first to Sarah Marceline at the Gates of Judgment, and he will direct you to where you are needed most. May the gods grant us victory. Easy. Easy peasy. Let's go. At the point captain of the Celsar contingent, then welcome. There is no shortage of blade work to be done. As big Dravanian skirmishing parties are harrying positions across the Central Highlands. I've assigned the Crystal Braves and your fellow adventurers to contain these scattered attacks, and for the present I would have you join them. That is of course merely a precursor to the assault on Ishgard proper. The wily serpents seek to divide and confuse our forces, but we will not be so easily drawn out of position. Temple Knights will remain on the Steps of Faith and continue our preparation. When the Horde arrives in force, we shall face a wall of Ishgardian steel. Report back to me once their advance skirmishers are slain. Okay. from side to side. We be flying. Pretty sure it won't let me go through here. Yeah, fuck your gates of judgment. I'm already in Ishgard. I feel like Ishgard is very tiny from here. Yep. From where I am flying, at least. Oh, that's the wall. Oh shit. My bad, my bad. Good night. What? I said good night, sir. Max height. What news, adventure? The reinforcements decimated, you say? Dravanian devils, damn their scaly hides. Hold fast to your grief and fury, my lady. We will avenge the deaths of your fellows in the battle to come. Steps of faith. Ere you commit yourself to the siege, you should know that what it is you are tasked with defeating. Beyond the gates of judgment lie the steps of faith, a great bridge of stone that leads directly to the city of Ishgard. More than simply a means to cross the sea of clouds, the bridge serves as a foundation for the arcane wards that form the barrier we call Danifen's call. Alas, in dispelling the barrier's outermost layer, the thrice-damned witch Iceheart stripped the bridge of its protection, and thus are the dragons now able to land unhindered upon the steps of faith. Should the Dravanians succeed in destroying the remainder of the wards, the winged devils will be free to swarm within the city itself. Needless to say, we cannot suffer that to happen. It shall be our task as defenders to prevent any harm from coming to those parts of the bridge wherein the wards are sealed. All now rests on us, adventurer. Lead your comrades out onto the steps of faith and prepare to meet the horde. May the fury guide your blades. Now don't point at me. Get the fucking hand out of my face. Get your finger out of my face. Didn't your mama tell you it's not polite to point? Ah, damn. Go. Steps of faith. No problem. I'll still need to do my PvP. Alright, let's see. Ah, that was fast. Alright, no. bum, bum, bum. The get excitement thing, it's crazy. I'll get to you, whatever. Yeah, got a player commendation. So happens when you don't leave first. Yeah, you better run. The dragons, they are withdrawing. Victory is ours. It's supposed to be adventurers that I brought. Hey, Estinian. One of Nidhogg's greatest champions, slain. The Horde will not soon recover from this blow. But what of you, Nidhogg? Why did you not join the minions and make of this battle a slaughter? You grown so fond of the stench of your lair. Mayhap you prefer to have your allies fight your battles for you. You have a girl to do your bidding now, don't you not? No matter, shall slay Iceheart and all the rest. But I yearn to spill the blood of a great worm, Nidhogg, and only your death will sate my lance. Arr. Damn. Flying! Up, up, and away! Filmina, the dragons are routed, lest you wonder. The fighting of the Steel Vigil was also fierce, but my crystal braves were not found wanting. Commander Laveyure, Filmina, true to your word, you arrived to aid us in our hour of need. On behalf of the Holy See and the people of Ishgard, I offer you my humble thanks. Thou wouldst stay and lavish you with well-deserved praise. I fear I must away to oversee the aftermath of the siege. Not all the dragons are fled, and there are yet wounded to be carried from the field. Pray let us meet anon, that I might express my thanks with the proper courtesy. I too would offer my thanks, Filmina. Through your deeds, we have achieved a victory of singular importance. With the Dravanian horde thus weakened and scattered, the threat to Ishgard has been greatly diminished. And, mayhap equally significant, the Holy See must now recognize the necessity of cooperation with foreign powers. Long have they barred their gates against the outside world, but I am confident that the day will soon come when Ishgard proclaims itself a member of the Orzen Alliance once more. Much have we sacrificed in our struggles against dragons and primals, the Ascians and the Empire, but step by unfaltering step, we march ever nearer to our goal. And as ever, the journey is made with you in the van. The victory you have won this day gives us greater hope for the morrow. 'Tis a hope that shall sustain us in the days to come, and bear us past the many evils that yet seek to hinder our progress. Yes, we have done well, my friend, and I, for one, would take a moment to savor the enormity of our achievement. Nod, nod. The demands of duty, however, allow me little time for levity. Levity? Levity. I must accompany Captain Ilberd back to Ul'dah and reassign those braves whose squad suffered heavy losses. You, my friend, have earned a rest at the Rising Stones. Pray return to Revenant Stall and share your tale with Minfilia in person. Cat Jam. Elevator music. Filmina, welcome back. Alfina sent word of the siege and, of course, of the role you played in ending it. Your deeds never cease to amaze me, Filmina. Thank you. You must be wary, Filmina, and now may very well be your only chance to... Antecedent. Hello. A messenger from Da arrived with a missive for you. The royal seal. Curious indeed. Ah, an invitation. On behalf of the Council of the Eorzean Alliance, Her Royal Majesty Nanamo Ulnamo invites the Scions of the Seventh Dawn to attend a feast at the Royal Palace of Ul'dah in honor of Ishgard's recent victory. It would seem we are to be recognized for our part in lifting the siege, you for the valiant efforts as commander of the adventurers contingent, and the Archons for their earnest attempts to rouse the city-states. Truly I find strange that the Alliance leaders should think themselves deserving of a place at such a celebration. All three refuse to deploy their standing armies, preferring to send hastily assembled companies of sellswords, many of whom perished ere the siege began. Are they truly so brazen as to seek to share in the glory of your triumph? But mayhap they simply seek a pretext to meet with the Ishgardians while the mood is yet jubilant. Such an occasion would present a fine opportunity to press for Ishgard's return to the Eorzean Alliance. We have scarce had time to mourn Moonbrida, and I, for one, am in no mood to carouse. But I suppose we must put away our grief for the good of the realm. Ain't nobody got time to cry. Though you were promised rest, I fear I must insist that you also attend. It would be a strange celebration, indeed, if the victorious hero were not present. Pray content yourself with the thought that such occasions may bring about momentous change, and this without recourse to bloodshed. Where am I now? Oh, okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Tataru, if you would do me the favor of contacting the rest of the Scions. Of course, Antecedent. And please let me know if there's anything else I can do. Run and hide. Bitch. Curious, I've never known Tataru to sigh at such requests. Could aught be amiss? Oh no. Is this the Tataru leveling thing? Tataru is conspicuous by her absence. Philamine? Taro, I believe she just stepped outside. Now that I think about it, she did seem rather preoccupied. Ah, Filmina, it's you. I didn't mean to worry anyone. It's nothing, really. Well, it's not nothing exactly, but it feels like nothing compared to the towering trials you and the others face every day. And that's why I should probably talk to Minfilia before things get any worse. You always know what to say, Filmina. I'm glad we had this little chat. Yeah, I'm a fucking shrink. Ahahaha. Waste not. Yes, Tatar, you have my undivided attention. I've been hesitant to broach the subject, what with all the recent excitement, but Filomena made me realize that there's no time like the present, and time is what I'm here to ask you for. I'm not sure I understand. If you wish to be excused from your duties for a time, then you have certainly earned the rest, but I suspect that lying abed is far from your intent. You know me too well, Antecedent. There is, in fact, something I've been wanting to try my hand at. Along with the adventurers and the Crystal Braves, the Scions are constantly being thrown into dangerous battles and deadly predicaments. Even Hoary Boulder and Coltonet have been promoted from guard duty to fill our need for competent warriors. And so it seems only right that I too should acquire the power to defend myself and others. More importantly, when I return, I shall be both your receptionist and your bodyguard. Word. Yeah, you go, Tataru. Whoa, hey! That's the first time I've almost been knocked to the ground by a Lalafell. I've never seen Miss Tataru so determined. Has aught befell with which I might help, Antecedent? Not at present, thank you. Was there something you would ask me of me? Oh yes, pray excuse my distraction. An adventurer who was to join us for escort duty was injured while out on patrol, and I fear we cannot properly defend the scholars entrusted to our protection without the aid of at least one more guard. Therefore, I humbly request that another adventurer, of the capable kind of course, be assigned to our party. Very well, I shall consider potential candidates and provide you with a replacement as soon as I am able. My thanks, Antecedent. I take my leave of you. The power to defend oneself. Tataru has ever been full of surprises. Now that I think on it, I do recall Urianger mentioning that she had developed an interest in Arcanima. Mayhap she hopes to gain admittance to the Arcanist Guild in Limsa. Yeah, that would be the way of it. Would you be so kind as to journey to the guild and see that all is well? It is doubtless unwarranted, but surely I am not alone in my concern for her safety. I wonder, do you perchance recall the commitment I made to furnish Hoary Boulder with a capable adventurer? Well, yeah, it was just like a second ago. I'm sorry to say that I have as yet been unable to do so. Yeah, no shit, it just happened. Now I realize that you are rather more than a capable adventurer and that escort duty is frankly beneath a woman of your talents, but I have no one else to turn to at present. Might you be willing to forego rest and assist us in this matter? I'll rest on the way. Generous to a fault, I thank you, Filomena. Now, it seems only fair that I explain the import of the task in question. For some time, our order has employed a handful of scholars to travel around Eorzea, taking etheric readings that we might better understand the impact of primal summonings. Naturally, it behooves us to ensure our employees' safety, and so we asked the adventurers in our service to serve as escorts. Hoary Boulder and Coltonet were to act as two such escorts, as was the third adventurer. Alas, due to injury, said adventurer is not presently fit for duty, hence my need to impose upon your goodwill. As long as I'm not cleaning up some chocobo doo-doo. You truly are a pillar of strength, Filomena. Fireball will share with you the details of your task. He should be waiting for you outside. Be safe. Filomena, is it true that you agreed to lend us a hand? Yep. Huzzah! What did I tell you, Coltonets? Our misfortunes become a blessing, an opportunity to serve alongside the Warrior of Light herself. Need I remind you that we have 3 scholars to escort, each of whom will take a different route. True, but our mission is the same. Separated by miles we may be, but in spirit we shall be together. If such thoughts bring you joy, you are welcome to think them. The more practical concerns, Mila, we would have you attend to the scholar charged with surveying the South Shroud. He is waiting at Camp Tranquil as we speak. All you need to is follow the man. He will determine the most appropriate locations to take his readings. In spirit, Filomena, in spirit we shall be together every step of the way. A happy guy. At last, the Sans woman deigns to grace me with her presence. A pity that we have no time for pleasantries. Our first destination is Izumhar. Come, we are late enough as it is. What if he dies by mistake? Is that fine? This is why you don't do favors, man. No one appreciates you. Just think of you as a sucker. Yes, this location should suffice. Once I finish calibrating my instruments, I will require but a moment to take the necessary measurements. I trust I needn't explain that my work can suffer no interruptions. Then please stand at an appropriate distance and keep watch for wild beasts. Ah, damn. These people. Didn't reach. Nope. Alright then, alright, here we go. Woohoo! I see we have both completed our respective tasks. Satisfactory outcome, though. Though if I could make one suggestion, you might try to dispatch your foes more quietly in future. I do not like to pick fault, but I really must be allowed to concentrate. Now then, snake malt awaits, shall we? Yeah, bro. I'll use a silence gun next time. Right about here. Yes, as before, I would ask you to keep a distance. Please don't be ranged this time. Fascinating. These readings are not at all what I expected. Though perhaps that should come as no surprise. I'm not given to superstition, but there is a queer, almost blasphemous air hereabout. Let us quit this place and return to Root Lake. We have one more site to survey. I really don't remember this quest at all. Yeah, could have teleported, but fuck it. As before, my guardian, pray leave me to the task and ensure my safety. Oh wait, forgetting the... This actually proven valuable too. You gods, what is that stench? Did you slaughter a creep of adamantines while my back was turned? Quickly now, to Camp Tranquil. I will not have my clothing reeking of blood and offal. Big true. You chose to pedal in the Ichor while longer I take it. No matter, I took advantage of my unexpected privacy and performed a cursory analysis of my data. It would appear that there has been a measurable decrease in Eorzea's ambient ether concentrations since the calamity. However, this data is far from conclusive. We must take additional measurements to confirm my assessment. For our next survey, I would have you escort me to Earth's fount. The ambient ether concentrations there are so high that crystalline structures form spontaneously. Consequently, anomalous fluctuations should be much easier to detect. Brilliant, yes? No, don't bother answering. That was rhetorical. Now come along. So that's where it is, huh? Ba-da-ba-ba-da-ba-ba-da-ba. Should be more than familiar with the procedure by now. Pray find a suitable position from which you to keep watch while I take measurements. Yes, quite high. It's still markedly lower than the historical measurements taken near the end of the 6th Astral Era. Could the presence of a problem account for the difference, or is there something else? Something. Cyan, come here. I need you. Ah, we found the guy. Wilred. Fear not, my friends. Help has arrived. There you are, Filmina. Ori and I were worried when you and your charge failed to return to the appointed hour. Gutted like a hog. But not by one, no, these ones were made with a blade. Doesn't look like he put up much of a fight either. Nary a mark on his sword or his shield. I've heard nothing of any Crystal Brave operations in this area. What cause had Wilred to come here? What should we do? We will see to the scholar's protection, Filmina. Aye, and the boy's remains. You should return to the Rising Stones. The antecedent will want to know what happened here. And so do I. That's what you get, bro. You talk shit, you got hit. Alright, let's go here first. Oh, Wilred. Had a good run, buddy. You try to kill me. It's what goes around comes around. Goes around, comes around. Wilred. Fucked up, boy. Don't be a detective next time. Alright, Arcanists. There we go. Alright, Tataru. Let's see what you're made of. Where? What's downstairs? Goddamn. Ah, these mazes. These goddamn mazes. Taru, what are you doing? She's doing the level 1 quest. She thinks she'll be useful. Filmina, what are you doing here? I didn't mean for her to worry. That's the last thing I wanted. Putting an end to such wars is precisely the reason I'm here, don't you see? I, Taru, shall become a great and powerful arcanist. And now, at Mistress Thubirgame's behest, I must go and complete a special training exercise until we meet again. I gotta go like kill some rats or some shit. Can't even do that though. Boy. Where is she? Upstairs? Yep. There you are. Greetings and welcome to the Arcanist Guild. Do you require assistance? Taru? So you are acquainted with our newest member. I'm sorry to be the bearer of bad news, but I fear young Taru may not be ideally suited to the study of Arcanima. Nevertheless, she would not be denied, and goes now to undertake her first trial, a simulated inspection of 3 crates. A simple task, some might say, but one all Arcanists are expected to complete. A thought occurs to me. Why not supervise Tataru's training? You are clearly an accomplished adventurer, and given your relationship with the girl, you seem an ideal person to have on hand. Her trial will be conducted at the cliffs south of the Zephyr Gate. You need only observe at a distance. Babysitting the child. That's what we're here for. Alright, Tataru, what you up to? Or Azure sees to pirate sport, where she met her shining jewel. For to bring the smuggler's plans to naught came the lass whom none could fool. Beat him with a backdraft, got him with a gust, deck him with a downburst. Go, Carbuncle, go! Oh, are those crates I spy? Ah, and this must be the true test. But we are ready for them, aren't we, Carbuncle? Carbuncle? One heck of a summoner, Tataru. Whoa! What? Come back! Wait, I didn't do that. I didn't. Didn't skip that text. Tataru Taru. Oh, Tataru. Should have known you'd come, Filmina. You needn't say a word. Your face says it all. I know you bore witness to my shame. Betrayed by my own carbuncle and left at the mercy of wild beasts. I must accept the truth. I'll never be a warrior like you or the others. I will inform Mistress Thubirgrim of my intentions to withdraw from the guild. Arcanima, like so much else, is beyond me. Just focus on what you can do, little girl. Urbahara. Rebahara? Back so soon. How fared our fledgling arcanist? She's quitting. Abysmally, Mistress. Game abysmally. As Filmina will testify, I was wrong to become an arcanist. Wrong as usual. I'm completely and utterly unqualified, and I sincerely apologize for wasting your time. Tataru, if that were true, I would not have permitted you to join in the first place. We must all come to accept our limitations, lest our ambitions lead us astray. However, we must not lose sight of our strength in the process. For example, your exceptional skill with numbers helped you to gain a solid grasp of the fundamentals of Arcanima. Were it not so, you would have struggled even to summon Carbuncle to your side. In my opinion, the Scions are truly fortunate to have such a capable and good-natured receptionist in their service. Would you not agree? Sure, yeah. You are too kind, Mistress Thubirgame. Though I could not overcome this challenge, I shall take your words to heart and try not to be discouraged. Ah, boy. Alright, Tataru. I was considering her next. As fetching as these garments are, I fear I shall never don them again. But I can't go back to Rising Stone without something to show for my time away. Wait, I know what I can do. That is, if you don't mind accompanying me for a little longer. Wonderful, then to Casa del Sol we will go. It's a bit of a gamble, but I'm confident it will pay off. Casa del Sol. Ah, damn it, Tataru! This is why I don't have days off in the science, cause bullshit like this. Tataru. Holy hell, bro. Yes, this is it. This is where the man at the drowning wench told me to look. There is certain to be harvested this time of year in Bloodshore, one which produces the most marvelous pearls. However, these clams are also coveted by certain wild creatures, and since I fared rather poorly in battle last time, let us be off. Let us be off. Fucking picking up Chocobo Doodoo might be better than helping this creature. What fortune, I've already found one. Would you be so kind as to keep watch while I work? What are you even wearing? Should only take a moment. Fucking potato. Goddamn potato person. Alright. Let's fuck shit up. Ah, it's the same. How about? Cost 10, this one costs 25, but overall damage is per point spent. Kenki. Per Kenki spent is the same. Okay. Well fought, Philomena. Well fought. I knew I was right to ask you to come. As for me, I have my prize, a bounty of blood pearls. So named for their reddish hue, they were treasured as wards against dark magics in ancient times. I thought I might make charms for everyone, so that no matter where they go, they will always come home. It's sort of the power to defend myself and other people in a way. Right, well, I mustn't keep Philomena waiting. There's work to be done, and lots of it. We are to secure provisions for the scions in the Luminston markets. She may have an eye for quality, but I have a nose for bargains. What the fuck are you wearing? Will you be heading back to the Rising Stones? If so, pray convey my apologies to the antecedent and tell her that she needn't worry about me. Farewell, Philomena. Thank you for everything. That sounded rather final, didn't it? How about until we meet again? Why am I going the other way? Aren't I going back? Oh. Where does she go? I don't remember. Alright. Chocorobo. Robobo. Yo, I should call him Robobo. Feathers. I need to change your name. What's the one? Fuck, how do I change your name? Oh, I think only in the stable, right? Oh well. Robobo. Robo-Chocobo. Chorobobo. Chorobo. Chorobo? Chocobo? Chorobo? Yeah, Chorobo maybe. Chorobo. Chorobot. Sure about? Welcome home, Filmina. I gather you found Tataru in Salominsa. Jesus, that nut is stuck in my throat. My, it sounds as though she had quite an adventure, and while it did not end as she had hoped, I suspect that it will prove to be a valuable experience. I dare say she could have managed without our intervention. Even so, I appreciate you indulging my request. Filmina, you are returned, and you seem troubled. Did the role of escort chef so? The role of escort chafe so? Chafe, huh? Yeah, that's Oh, we found a dead body. Are you surprised? Yes, you are. Wheelred? Dead? Mayhap murdered? By the 12, how can that be? I will send word to Alphino at once. He will want to conduct a full investigation and send word to Wilred's family. Gods, he was just a boy. Who would do this, and why? But I am sorry, Filmina. Doubtless this weighs heavy on your heart. We have already imposed upon you so much. Pray take some time for yourself. I dare say you have more than earned a respite. After all, we will be most busy with preparations as the banquet draws near. Should other adventurers summon you elsewhere, perhaps now is the time to heed their call? In order to progress in the main scenario, you must first complete certain quests in the Crystal Tower series. Yes, I knew you have to do Crystal Tower. Fucking knew it. Series may be in... Nice. Crystal Tower quests. 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 Let's learn about the 13th. Alright, Nero, what's up? Do I know you? Ah, unless I'm very much mistaken, you are the famed adventurer who bested the Guardian Emperor's general, are you not? The great Filmina Nekochi herself. Amazing. And more than a little serendipitous. One might even call it fate. I but recently received word of a truly unique opportunity, you see, an opportunity the like of which none but one of your proven worth could take advantage. The reward? Not less than the accumulated knowledge of a fallen civilization. The risk? A single misstep could cost you your life. But what is a little danger to a storied hero such as you? A woman with absolute confidence in her own abilities stands to profit handsomely from this venture. Oh no, I crave no recompense for my part in bringing this opportunity to your attention. The historic discoveries you shall make will be reward enough, I assure you. If my words have fanned the flames of your curiosity, then I bid you seek a man by the name of Rambrose at Saint Coinach's Find. Coinex? I don't know. It is he who stands at the doorway to untold marvels, awaiting the arrival of a champion bold enough to march across the threshold. Rambrose, I remember you. Why, if it isn't Filmina Nekochi herself, I was not expecting such a celebrated guest. To what do I owe the honor of this visit? You were directed here, you say, by a man clad in foreign garb. Well, the opportunity he spoke of must surely refer to our latest anthropogeographical endeavor. Quite how he came to know of it is another matter. All knowledge of this project was supposed to be restricted to my organization. But that is something for me to ponder in private. You are here now, and your services will, I am certain, prove invaluable. I must warn you, however, that the venture we have in mind is no simple excavation. An unprepared or incautious adventurer could very well find herself on an unplanned and unpleasant journey to Thal's solemn halls. Knowing this, do you still wish to lend us your cooperation? Sure. Didn't even have a choice. I rather thought you would say that. Your courage is scarcely a secret. Now, the first... Philmina? I thought it was you. Oh, Sid. What brings you to St. Coinox? Don't tell me the Alliance has sent you another realm-shaking, history-making mission to lay low an apparently insuperable foe. No? Yes? No? Ah, I see you two are already acquainted. That is well. Master Garland, our intrepid hero here caught wind of the forthcoming expedition and has kindly pledged to assist us. She has she? Glad to have you aboard, Philmina. You don't have the faintest idea what you've volunteered for, do you? Very well, let us begin the beginning. The sons of Saint Koinok are tasked with unearthing the secrets of the long-fallen Allegan Empire, and this present endeavor aims to delve more deeply into the civilization's mysteries than ever before. Ah, but I know that look. In the event that you feel ill-equipped, to contribute much on the subject of Allegan archaeology, I invite you to recall your encounter with the Ultima weapon. That mechanical monstrosity represents a feat of engineering far beyond Odd Garlemald can presently achieve. Nerotolskeva simply awoke it. I mention this by way of a reminder that you have had what one might term extensive first-hand experience with a notable Allegan relic. In short, you are practically an archaeologist. Practically. Now, to the core of the matter. Here in Mordona there stands an entire elegant structure which we have yet to investigate. I speak, of course, of the Crystal Tower. After witnessing the destructive capabilities of the Ultima weapon and the Lesser Moon, Dalamud, before it, it seems wise to treat any remnants from that era with the utmost caution. They must be analyzed, monitored, and above all, kept from falling into the wrong hands. To put it plain, I have no wish to see another megalomaniacal legatus wield one of those weapons. It was this thought which first moved me to contact the Sons and propose that the tower be explored. For several millennia, the Crystal Tower remained hidden, buried deep underground, but, like so many other things that were better left undisturbed, the structure was freed from its stony prison by the great upheaval which accompanied the coming of the Seventh Umbral Era. It now stands revealed in all its splendor, a gleaming sphere of crystal, pointed at the bosom of the heavens. We believe the tower to be the repository of much of the ancients' wisdom. Unfortunately, its entrance is guarded by formidable defenses, and we cannot so much as peep through the keyhole, much less set foot inside. Just fly in, guys. These defenses take the form of statues, carved into the likeness of giant swordsmen. The 8 Sentinels, as the Sons are wont to call them, is the first barrier we must overcome. Why not simply fly over them in airship, you ask, yeah? It's been tried before. Any vessel that ventures too close to the tower is blasted out of the air. We either destroy those statues, or the front door is forever beyond our reach. How about flying like right next to the water? Kind of, you know? My colleagues and I are ill-suited to negotiating such deadly hazards. Thus, if we are to gain access to the tower's secrets, we must needs employ the services of an experienced adventurer. It will be difficult and dangerous, Filomena, but I can think of no finer woman for the task. If I didn't know better, I'd say you had a taste for these deadly escapades. I look forward to working with you again. There is much and more to be done before we can begin the expedition proper. Take some time to prepare yourself, and I shall explain the challenges that lie ahead. Our first objective is to reach the entrance to the Crystal Tower. As I previously mentioned, however, that will prove no easy task. The entrance is guarded by powerful defense mechanisms, each utilizing one of the 4 elements of fire, water, wind, or earth. Anyone attempting to simply stroll past these unsleeping sentinels invites swift obliteration. Based on Master Garland's analysis, however, we are reasonably certain that the attacks of these lethal contraptions can be reflected using a crystal of the corresponding element. Naturally, these crystals must be of surpassing clarity, free of the slightest impurities, much like the flawless specimen used by the beastmen in their primal summoning rituals. Jesus Christ. Oh my god, this click in my thumb. Ah, there it is. Whew. Mayhap I should have said exactly like the specimen they use. Were there any other way we would not ask this to? Mayhap I should have said exactly like the specimens they use. Were there any other way we would not ask this of you, but we need someone to enter the Beast Tribe strongholds and liberate their perfect crystals. For the moment, I would have you focus on obtaining 2 of the 4 crystals we require. Pray make for La Noche, where both the Sapsa spawning grounds and Ugamaro mines are located. You may be certain that the materials used in the Beastmen's sacred rituals will be well defended. Whether you choose to venture there alone or with companions, I shall leave to your discretion. But whatever you do, please be careful. Fine. Fine. Just wanna do the story of Crystal Tower, man. Bum ba bum ba bum ba bum 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 ba da dee da dum. Woohoo! Should just call the weapons conservability and that's it. Call it a day. How progress your efforts in infiltrating the Beastman stronghold? How progress your efforts in infiltrating, Jesus Christ. So these are the famed flawless crystals of the beast tribes. I have seen countless specimens from I know not how many excavations, but nothing to compare to these. Their purity is astounding. You have done well, Fulmina. With these in our possession, we lack only the crystals of fire and wind. The former lies in Zaharak, the war camp of the Amalja in Talnan, the latter in Natalan, the roost of the Ixal in the hills of Korthas. You can expect them to be as closely guarded as the first two, if not more so. Still, I look forward to receiving word of your resounding success. Let's go get these. Where's the music, guys? Come on. There we go. Guys die a bit too fast, don't you think? That's a cool beat. Bum ba 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 bum ba ba bum ba bum. Oops. Fucking massacred. No worries. Don't mind me, just here massacring the noobs. Legacy of Alleg. Rambros. Rambo. Pilmina, it is good to see you. Tell me, were you able to obtain the remaining crystals from the Beastman? Wonderful. With all 4 crystals in hand, we are now ready to proceed to the next stage of our preparations. I hope I did not give the impression that we would be embarking on our journey to the Crystal Tower just yet. Alas, there's another step which must be completed ere we come to that. While the crystals you acquired are indeed flawless, they are of little use to us in their present form. If they are to reflect the elemental forces of the tower's defenses, they must needs be cut and polished. A process which calls for a very particular set of materials. Procuring them will be a challenge in itself, I fear. Needless to say, we will be requiring your services once again. Piece of shit. If the flawless crystals you procured for us are to retain their elemental purity during the shaping process, a very specific set of abrasive substances will be required. Well, I say substances, but one might just as well call them one substance, namely ether sand, which has 4 elementally aspected varieties. Alas, ether sand is neither common nor cheap. Indeed, it is not unusual for the abrasive to exceed the value of the precious stones it is used to polish. Given the rarity of the materials in question, the Goldsmiths Guild in Ul'dah seemed the likeliest place to purchase the quantity we require. When I contacted the guildmaster, however, I was informed that no ether sand was currently available. Though I requested that word be sent as soon as new stock came in, I have yet to receive aught but apologies. I should mention at this point that I placed the same order sometime before you procured the flawless crystals. I am well aware that acquiring ether sand is no small feat, of course, and I am not an impatient man, but I fear the more we delay our investigation, the greater the risk that the tower's secrets may fall into the hands of other, less savory parties. And that is why I wish to entrust you with the payment for our purchase and send you to speak directly with Guildmaster Serendipity. Mayhap the presence of such a distinguished personage will spur the guild into action. In any event, it is my hope that when next we meet, you will have found at least one of the 4 varieties of ether sand we require. Word. Bird is the word. Alright, I'm gonna call it here today. Yeah, I'm gonna call the stream to here today. Okay, so next time we have Crystal Tower and finally finishing A Realm Reborn and getting into Heaven's Word. Nice. We are making it. We're gonna get there eventually. Anyways,